Hey Sycamore fans, it's Craig Smith here. I'm with my dad, Mark Smith, defensive line coach here, about to ask him a few questions today. What do you think about that, Dad?
I think I'm excited to get a chance to talk to my son. That's beautiful.
Great. Well, today my very first question I'm going to start off with, and Logan Wilson asked his dad what his favorite food was in camp. I know that answer to that question, and that is mayonnaise for you. What made you start liking mayonnaise? What was the very first time you had a bite of mayonnaise, and what was the reason why you came to love mayonnaise?
Well, first off, you're right. I do like mayonnaise, and mayonnaise goes with everything. I would say because one of the things that I liked when I was a young child, I liked tuna fish salad sandwiches, and I knew it had mayonnaise in it, and I just started putting mayonnaise. I'm really not sure if that's why, but I did like that when I was young.
Gotcha. Well, the next question off that question then is, can you explain what you always told us growing up? What was the best sandwich that we would have?
A wish sandwich, because a lot of times, when you guys were growing up, we were just a little bit short on cash, so every now and then we got to the end of the month and we had bread, but then we wish we had some meat. So a wish sandwich is always big on our menu.
You got it. You got it. The next question I have is where did I get my great athletic ability from? Was it mom or you?
Well, that's a good question because I have not seen that athletic ability yet. I don't know if you've gotten it. I'm hoping that it comes out soon someday and you get that contract that I always hoped you'd get when you were younger.
How did you really meet mom, and kind of what was that story, and what really brought you towards mom and kind of ended up obviously marrying mom?
Well, I met your mother when I was actually teaching and coaching high school. And no, she was not a student. She was out of school. But it's funny, and she'll tell you the story that, obviously I was attracted to your mom physically, and I saw her one night after actually saw her at a high school basketball game that I was monitoring the stage area where the students sit, and you had to keep an eye on them. I was a teacher, and she was back from visiting friends or whatnot in town, and I happened to see her. Well, I saw her that night out at an establishment there in town, and I'd heard that she was a hairdresser, which that was her profession. And so to find my way in, if I was going to start a conversation, I walked up to her without even knowing her name, or actually I asked her if I could get a haircut.
My next question is geared towards, and I always wanted this growing up, at what age will you finally turn the thermometer down in the house below 79 degrees? I would always wonder that, what age do you get to where you kind of soften up a little bit and actually turn on the air conditioning in the house? Is there ever going to be an age of that?
Well, the air conditioning's on now, but it's just set on 75.
I gotcha.
Right, because it's cool enough, I can tell you. And then I guess you'll understand questions like that later on when you actually have to pay the bills.
I gotcha. What is your favorite Dennis Rate story?
Well, there's some of them you can't talk about because it just wouldn't be right for public ears. And we're out of practice one day. And there's the linebackers, and there's well known and he was a backup linebacker, but he played some. But there was a linebacker that it was well known that when he graduated, when he was done playing, whether he graduated or not, he was joining the military. He was going into the military, and Coach Rates knew that. And we were out there running practice one day, and the kid's supposed to step up, and he's supposed to be in the B gap. He's supposed to, the play said, okay, you're in the B gap. All right, well, he wasn't. So Coach Rates, in his way that only Coach Rates can, says, and I don't remember the kid's name. I'm going to say Robbie for the purpose of Robbie. How do you expect to defend our country if you can't defend the B gap? And it was something that I just always stuck with me. I laughed until I cried.
All right, Indiana State fans are wondering this, okay? Between you and Tom James, okay, what are you guys at? About 150 years with Indiana State football now? Are we going on 150 years now?
Well, I can tell you what, Snake, he's got a lot of years on me because he was actually a student here, then was a student manager here, so I would think with Tom alone, it's close to 100, and I'd probably tack 50 on there. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not going to deny that. It's the stadium. When I first got here was actually a baseball field, I mean, back in the 50s. So I'm with you.
Perfect. Yep, Tom, you and Tom. Dad, hope you had fun here. Asking me a few questions. Hopefully it wasn't too nerve-wracking here. This is Craig Smith reporting with Indiana State Football.